And here it is, back in Dynamine. So, B2, the cellar, basement. B1 is basically just a little bit of a dead end, but also for you to get into whatever, get into bit outside, and there's a shop in there, but it's not way forward. So, but in here, there's these little mining tracks leading to all kinds of locations. So there, of course, the obvious puzzle is to just press all the switches so that the cart can actually then be pushed forward, and more critters be facing giant roaches. They can do jumps. I'm just gonna go in a full attack. Yeah, Garr hits quite. He's trying to hit quite hard. But also, when you could look about it, the fact that he decided to, well, look for you and to find out answers to his own theological problems. Maybe it might be kind of selfish, but kind of, you could say, self-doubt is kind of rare thing in gaming to be seen. Alright, but now the cart has been pushed over there. Yeah, it's very easy spatial awareness puzzle to figure out. But now, as I make a bit of use the start button super psych, there's a big rock which can't really allow to get further. So there would be a track to turn that over there, but let's just push it because hey, it's got TNT in it. So it unlike real cars of wagons of dynamite does explode when crashing. TNT does not. Oh, Garr figured it out. Oh, that was the grim sound. A pool of blood. That's spooky. Oh, and the monster looks like undead dragon. Well, he tried that in Angel Tower. Well, he's really going to straight for the source. Well, Ryu has no grudge towards them. Whatever, they are conflicting characters, but it wants to fight. Dragon zombie. Well, so let's just try to make use of the destroy undead. If that doesn't work, well, let's just then try another called charge. Nice little rainbow. And it killed it with one strike. Yep, that's that's a little trick you can get to the boss. Yeah, which is really good because it's a really annoying one. And it referred to somebody else. There are something else as well. Yeah, more dragon power. No idea. Perhaps the true dragon might refer to something that it is not just a matter of power's ability to transform into an orb and fear-inspiring form, but it's a matter of character and what you do with that kind of ability, what you try to achieve with it. They are all, you could say, matters that, yeah, that would be the true dragon. But let's just check this other corridor into here. Yeah, there are some enemies in this corridor as well. Giant roaches. And I would say that using that Garrilla move on the dragon zombie might have been something like a bit of a cheating, but it's a very tough boss fight, capable of causing mass confusions, massive amounts of poison attacks. Yeah, it's a tough fight to face. So it was not much of a, you could say, a matter of questioning, because hey, game gives you tools to use against various threats. So why not use them? But there's more tracks in here. I wonder, is this the proper? Did this lead to the proper location? Yeah, I'm very rusty about this place layout. It's very grim, this kind of mine with its rails and rails. I would say that might be something like a application of that technology appearing in here, in the sense that they are, well, the basic wind didn't do much damage to those. Yeah, there's just jumping and slapping and regular attacks. Well, at least wind has made sure that every strike is now finally finishes them off. Yeah, and they don't drop money either. As much as I can actually now do some little thinking. Well, this led outside of the mine, at least. But did it do it completely? No. Kind of annoying little side path. Leads nowhere. And more critters to face. Yeah, and there's fire slugs are really annoying because they have fire breath attack that they love to use. But luckily they are, because they already appear at the dump site of the plant way earlier in the game. They are not that fearsome regarding their endurance. That's an attack which is really nasty. You don't want to take it, because that makes you weaker towards fire attacks, and when combined with fire slugs means that you're gonna be taking a lot of pain from them. And healing herbs, they are useful but not that big deal. So let's just go and make use of the quick walking ability. No running animation frames to general characters, even though some cases they did have them, like running Ray at McNeil Mansion, but generally they don't. There's quite dash is just faster. Oh, and bone dart. Yeah, that's a zombie. Means zombie doctor. They make a healing spell once they get hurt enough, which of course, because them being zombies and undead, means that yep, they ain't doing that well. And if you get confused, your controls get temporarily reversed at the field, which is a nice little detail, although it doesn't have much of purpose as much as gameplay is concerned. Okay, another little of these extra corridors. And more critters. And this place also isn't that interesting to investigate. Yeah. Garr made a big roar and yanked that thing out of existence real quickly and efficiently. Oh, well, at least there's some treasure. And no, there are no mimic monsters hiding in treasure chests, which is a nice little detail. Even though they tend to appear in quite many genres, but in this one they don't. But let's just make a good one strike with by Ryu to that zombie doctor. Oh, it tries to bone dart. Oh. Well, let's just try it again. See, does it actually do it? No, it doesn't. Ah, damn it. Oh, no, it did it. Yeah, and once, if you have dead teammates, they get resurrected at the end of battle, but there's a little bit of, but you do lose maximum hit points, which only get recovered if you do a rest, and I find that to be both convenient in sense that yeah, you get them automatically back, but also real punishing when you lose maximum hit points that you don't get back until you get the rest. But at least this place will allow to demonstrate that little annoying effect, annoying and also merciful. Yeah, all kinds of little nooks and crannies and locations to did it now reach this? Yes, now it is. Yeah, simple lift bridge to make sure that yep, harder to get into the mine. But now I'm out completely outside. Yeah, well, they had a dragon problem. Oh yeah, because it's walking with him. Ryu doesn't seem to remember much. Doesn't seem to like the idea. And it seems that Garr has been doing some sort of mercenary work as after oh, that's why. Being born here, or maybe not born, but being spawned here. Or captured, crystallized. Impossible to say the proper word. As much as Ryu might be concerned, it might be a case of, in a sense, born here, because he was trapped in that prism, and then it was broken, and he was out and free. Go get out, lots of hit points. Yeah. Yeah, just a little. They must be keeping tools in here and all that kind of things. I really do like these kind of little extra details that they try to make these locations, you could say, more real, or more like some, as in the sense that they might feel more real and plausible. Oh, that guy's a tiny. Oh yeah, well, boss is in the office. It doesn't seem to be office, it seems more like a cafeteria place where people get eaten. Ah, it's a saving spot. And it's a saving spot, right, quite conveniently, but not that necessarily. Here's the boss. Yeah, Garr has quite good amount of expertise regarding dragons. Ogre Road. And there's a monster on the Ogre Road. He has killed a lot of dragons. Not one, not even 10, but hundreds of them. 299. That's a big number of them. Although now he's basically military feeling about strength is more or less reduced. But that one was a big important dragon. Real huge to know that those are its remains. Yeah, little difficulty sleeping. Garr has really gotten into, you could say, a crisis about this. And it's a question that, yeah, that wants to be subject. Yeah, well, same path as before, deja vu. Back to the windier Eastern lands, and then later to you could say, and later to Angel Tower. Big things happened there earlier, big things are expected to happen there again. Well, just a little rest and save. I think that the music of the world travel has changed, and of course there's also various fishing spots and a checkpoint. So, but let's just go and look this place first, see what's going on in here. It's quite a grim looking location, and got some money chipping down the bush. that's a big, hefty-looking game. And a couple of bored-looking guards. Well, that is kind of, in a sense, good. Especially if it's matter of, you could say, military outposts and all that. No news is good news. Although that at least might have been exploited during Second World War by leaving one outpost specifically in state of nothing happening, and then of course when there's nothing happening they report nothing happening, and because it's encrypted, then they know a message which has general content of the message, which would of course be a case of general content of the message, which of course is nothing happening, and then they would of course be able to figure out how the encryption goes, and because every outpost and similar use that same kind of encryption during that day, yeah, it made a quite convenient method to figure out or do some code cracking at the side. We'll say abuse specific things. But let's see what's going on. That guy looks familiar, and this looks big and ominous, but also not familiar. Oh, well. Oh, Contest of Champions is history. Yeah, that's one of the golems of the Contest of Champions. Does it eat? And there's Mr. Emitai. He was quite broke, but seems that the daughter didn't die. Well, that's... did he throw it, or did he really fight? I don't think he threw it. Well, he's quite sarcastic. Actually, it's yeah, there. Oh. Oh, yeah. Ryu once again starts to study. Yeah, you can get Emitai to be your teacher. Which is real nice that they added a very easily available new teacher right at the beginning of the game, of the new phase of the game. Because you might have gotten already quite far with the other teachers. And there's a fairy ring. But let's not go there yet, because there's the ogre road to travel through. Yeah, it's got spooky music. Goo Titan. Those are... well, they're tough. But they're basically just goos. More durable version of basic goo enemy right from the beginning of the game. Which of course informs why they are called Titans. But there is this kind of certain, you could say, sense of impending doom, and which is more than just the fact that there's enemy about, there's regular enemy encounters about to face, but it's a little bit of twisting and turning location to travel through. One more of these Goo Titans. They're just doing some regular slaps. And gives quite a nice chunk of experience points as well, so they are definitely worth fighting. These are interesting plants, so why not just chop them down, because, well, they might be necessary later. Horseradish. Just because, well, it's gonna be needed later, so there's no harm getting it right away. All kinds of strange matters going on. And these guys, well, they were at the Eastern Airlands, Rapala, Urkan regions. Not that. But they blinded me both and I made them already to charge, so it might take a while. Oh, well, at least that one that has to run away. Well, at least they got some results from that fight, thanks to blindness not doing that much hampering, although I would have been able to get them both out of existence. And there's a treasure chest of hourglass. Those are quite big potent items. They basically stop everybody but the user acting for 3 turns, and that's quite an potent ability, potent move to pull off or make use. Yeah, that one can't blind up. Big yell. Okay, where? Oh, it just turns around that. But that's a little bit, you could say, ominous looking location, because that narrow ledge, you could say, is quite much of a perfect location for ambush. So let's just walk into it. There it is. A tiger, human form tiger. Where tiger? Not where tiger, where tiger. Well, let's just blast out shield and Garr. Put a counter on. Oh yeah, it can snap to reduce your defense. But counter attack, it did a nice little effect. Well, now I up my defense. While I'm at it, let's just bring out the dragon form. Flames and defender. And actually no, let's not bring out. Let's bring out defender and reverse, which allows me to blast up, become a warrior dragon, not defender, but a warrior. And warrior can dish out a lot of damage. Yeah, it can do focus, give it, so where tiger can give focus. Although I did a big mistake. By not making it. Yeah, now it fights Ryu. Well, let's try regular dragon breath. Yeah, and it can also do this dragon where tiger does the big jump. Yeah, well, it didn't do really much anything. Made a bit mistake with the dragon form. So I'm gonna get out from that. And also let's do a charge. But luckily, if I recall right, the dragon form charge doesn't really seem to work much. Flame defender. And reverse. Maybe this works. In the sense that what I want to do. Well, it didn't just blasted me into dragon. But icy dragon is still quite good. Just regular attacks. Tiger can attack quite hard. Frost Glove and regular strike, but it escapes. Yeah, that implies it's smart, it's sentient, it has intelligence. So now I've approached the Ural region where I previously couldn't really do much of researching, but now there's also another little mountain called Mount Levet. But yeah, let's go free here. This place has a bit of a, you could say, a little this landscape weirdness, because you might think that this would be quite easily and fast walked through. But it really isn't. Some blue goblins, which are new and capable of splashing out lightning attack. They go down with 2 hits from... So they are not that much of, you could say, true threat, and despite spewing out lightning, are not immune to it. Which is a real nice because Ryu's sword happens to be a lightning elemental. You can climb this mountain, but if you now would try to walk through this little narrow gap to get through, it would drop you to a little pit, forcing you to walk over and all kinds of annoyance because there's quite unpleasant critters around here. So it's a matter of walking through with this little extra little branch, and path is going downwards. Slash hurts. Those creatures are capable of doing intelligence reducing attack, which really isn't that big deal as it doesn't do much damage and the effect reverts once the fight over and they don't take much damage. So, but Mount Levet was not much of a big obstacle. But now as I wander in the Ural region, there's a little hut of questionable location and style and content, and it seems to be empty. Well, beyond having a healing herb in it. And another one of these strange paths with parts of pillars in them. Just like those things would have some sort of service or purpose. So, but now as I'm approaching Ural region, I think it might be actually a good moment to save, because there's been a lot of events going on. So I'll be going to the camp, and you'll be seeing me next time when we start to return where the game truly started. So, see ya!